Welcome to Stories from the River. I'm your guest host, Sam Blum, and I am joined today by many retail collab partners. So in the first two episodes, you learned about where we started with guest services, where we are with retail operations, and where we're headed. And today, we're going to focus on some collabs. So let's get started.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
Let's kick things off with introductions. So Nathan, would you like to join us and go first?
Sure. So my name is Nathan Jeter. I am the general manager of our Ashley store in Mooresville, North Carolina.
Awesome. Thank you. Jessica, since you work so closely with Nathan, would you like to go next?
Hi, I'm Jessica Blackstock, and I work at the Ashley Mooresville location as the REM.
And Cindy?
I'm Cindy Orrick, and I am the sales audit manager, and I've been with the company since 2009.
A long time.
A long time.
And
actually, with Ashley Furniture since 2006, so it's going to be my 20th year this year.
A really long time.
Yeah.
All right, Karrin, you're up.
Hi, I'm Karrin Reed. I am the Manager of Retail Inventory, so all inventory things in the retail locations, and I just hit 8 years.
Wow.
Woo! Congrats.
Thank you.
So lots of tenure here. We've had lots of tenure on all of these episodes. I love that. So, okay, just to set everyone up at home a little bit, Nathan and Jessica work in a retail location. And then Cindy and Karrin are partners of retail that do some work outside of the stores, well, inside of the stores, but outside of the stores, which we'll let them explain here in a minute. But really what we want to focus on today is how you partner with retail ops. So Nathan, I know your experience is very hands-on because you have Jessica, your REM. So kind of walk us through, the two of you, walk us through your relationship, what Jessica does for you in the store. And Jessica, please feel free to chime in and share your version as well.
So I'm going to use a sports analogy, and that is a nod to Miss Renee Bradley. But I like to say that, and Jessica and I were talking about this the other day in preparation to hear and discussing this podcast, is that she covers our blind side. So if our HFCs are the quarterback and the sale is the football, the sale going to the end zone is a closed deal, delivered, everything is done well. Jessica is playing that lineman position and protecting that quarterback from having any kind of hiccups. So she, with line comments, with cross streets, with order accuracy, with a number of things that she covers and checks on a daily basis, she does an amazing job for our team to support them getting that sale from A to B successfully.
Perfect. Thank you. Jessica, you want to add anything about your day-to-day life?
It's auditing for the most part, but it's auditing to make sure, like Nathan said, that nothing goes sideways, that from start to finish is just beautiful. All the steps are there. Everything's followed. Everything's done. And it does take teamwork, because if you tell them, oh, you're missing a cross street, and they never fix it, that's not teamwork. So definitely has a lot of parties involved to make sure everything goes well.
So for our listeners, I'm going to kind of expand a little, and y'all tell me to be quiet if I'm talking too much, because I tend to do that sometimes. But we have all of these rules or guidelines or policies, I'm not sure which word to use, for our HFCs, our sales associates, to follow when writing up an order. So, or entering an order, I should say. So cross streets being one of them, we want to make sure that when they receive delivery, the delivery team knows where they're going. If we can't find the address, we at least know the most closest intersection to find them. So your job is really making sure that the customer is going to get their experience, like the greatest experience from A to Z, and making sure our sales associates, our HFCs, are doing what they're supposed to do, right? Because we have a lot of guidelines for them because we want to protect our customer. So Cindy, how do you fit in to all of this? What does your day-to-day look like?
So my team basically is the second pair of eyes for the retail team and the REMs. If they miss something, make sure we're going to let you know you missed it. And we're going to make and just let them know that, hey, this is, either past due, we need you to look at this, we need you to work on this, is there something wrong here, how can we help, anything like that. It's just, it all comes down to being the second pair of eyes for retail.
Love it. Okay. And how about you, Karrin?
We are a little more back of house than that. So we're not really super closely related with the customer experience as far as completing the sale, except for making sure that your inventory is in the right status to make it easier while you're selling. We are here more for accuracy. So we want to make sure that you have what's in your store is what's in your inventory, which is what's in store, so that everything can be a really smooth process.
Awesome. So Kathy shared in the first episode that inventory is really like half of their job now. It's evolved so much from when we first introduced it. Really, when we first introduced it, I remember sitting with you, Cindy, all the time in the war rooms on the OOA. Like that was like what we focused on as REMs was simply the OOA and making sure that our books were as clean as possible. And that was so much fun. I miss those days so much. You have no idea.
Yes.
Anyway, but now the inventory part of this has really taken over because we've introduced so many automations and technology solutions that we did not have back then. So that's really cool that you guys have kind of morphed into this retail inventory like wizard team. I don't know.
Yeah, the really cool thing is that my team is made up of all previous REMs. So we all have that in-store experience. We know what the team needs to be successful because we've been there.
Yep.
So we try to be a really good partner to be the team that's like, hey, reach out to us. We're here to help you.
Right. I love it. You got lucky with all those REMs on your team.
I got so lucky. I'm like truly lucky.
Same.
You too, Cindy.
Yes, you have a team of all REMs. I mean,
I want a team of
REMs are our bread and
REMs.
butter.
How do I make this happen? Anyway,
Don't take my REM. She's too good for our store.
Jessica,
please.
we might be stealing you. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't say this in front of Kelly. We've all stolen her REMs and she hates us for it.
We'll make sure she doesn't listen to this episode. Okay, so Jessica, can you tell us an example or share an example with us of a time that you have collaborated to make a guest experience better or, improve the outcome for a customer?
There's a lot of different things, but for the most part, the one that came to mind was more of a collaboration with the store support line, which they are good help.
I love that.
There was a guest that had a cross tag delivery. What got delivered to him was a purple, I think it was a purple soft, and he wanted a purple firm. And he was a twice a month Thursdays route. So they only came out 2 times a month on Thursdays. And the guy came in and I was like, well, next closest is 2 weeks from now on that Thursday. And he's like, I really can't do that. I work so much. I can't take that time off. So I called store support and May said, hold on, I'm going to see if 710 has a firm for him in that size. And if he's ready to pick it up today, because he's there with you, let me see if he can go and pick it up today. I'm going to work with 710 to see what I can make happen. So they managed to find out that, yes, there was a firm available. They set it aside and honestly, store support in the 710 DC really saved that sale because if we'd been like, sorry, man, 2 weeks from now is when we could do it, he would have just been like, he would have not have been a happy camper. It would have just been a whole thing. So.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. You don't even know that you're speaking to my heart because I'm in CX and store support is on my team. Well, our team, I should say. I'm not the only one in CX. Sorry. Nathan, do you have any cool stories you want to share about collabs that have made an impact?
So definitely CX team, we could talk about them all day and how they save sales. But Cindy and her team, the sales error emails that we've started to get in the last 3 months have been little gold mines for us because, as you all are aware, if you deliver an item and it's not the right color, not the right size, not the right bedroom collection, that guest gets escalated and becomes a snowball effect depending on how soon we can get the right stuff out there. So getting the daily, weekly emails from Cindy, checking those sales errors, and as I've heard before, it's it's more cost efficient to build a fence at the top of the cliff than the hospital at the bottom.
This sounds like Lil Luke.
Yes, it
I
does.
know this saying. Huh.
Yeah, I always have these little snippets going in my head, all these little, Broad River isms.
Yeah, and sales audit, they do those emails because sometimes I'm behind on order accuracy, so they are in effect my own fence at the top of the cliff.
Oh, I love it.
I haven't gotten across to it yet.
I love that. That's a great way to look at Cindy's team because it can be viewed in a number of ways if we're being honest, and I think it's important to say that Cindy's team isn't there to, yell at you or get you in trouble or, just be irritating about an order being correct, but it's to make sure that the customer is having a good experience, number one, that the company is being efficient, that we're not going to waste cost by delivering something that is incorrect and bringing it back and all that good stuff. So I think that was really, really cool of you to say, Nathan, because Cindy has a tough job. So
I think Cindy and I both have worked really hard to change the perceptions of our teams. Mm-hmm. Because especially Cindy, I mean, she's the one who really makes it seem like a slap on the wrist. And it's, I tell someone they have a critical count, they're freaking out. And so we've both really had to change our perception as people that are here to help. Like, we're not telling you that you're doing a bad job. We're saying, here's a problem. Let us help you.
Right. How have you done that? Sorry, we're going rogue for a second, but how have you built those connections or mended those relationships?
So I think being part of the REM meetings is really important. So face-to-face with people was really, really good. And then when I first took over the team, I did, anytime there was an action plan necessary for a critical count, we had video calls. So I had that face-to-face with them every time. And I've got team chats with literally every single person, I think. So we've just made ourselves very available, and we give a lot of shout outs. It's a lot of celebrating wins and not just these are the stores that are bottom performing.
Gotcha. Love that. Cindy, anything for you guys?
I mean, with everything I just said, I have so much to add.
Me too.
Well, I first, back to the preventing sales errors emails that we send out. I have to give credit where credit is due, and that's from Missy Charity. It was always on my mindset that needed to be done, but she kind of just put the fire under my butt to get that going, because I'm like, that's not your job. You shouldn't be doing this. Let me take that over for you, because she was just doing so much and above and beyond, and the girl needed a break. So I partnered with BI to make this possible, and we're not there yet, but we are so close, and we've gotten so many eyes on certain groups and product that's allowing us to be those, like I said, second pair of eyes on their orders, because we eventually want to take reviewing sales receipts away. We don't want that to be a thing for REMs anymore, because we have this report to do this for you. So about that, I just wanted to clue that in and just kind of give the credit to Missy Charity for kind of getting us kickstarted for that.
Love it. Missy's amazing.
And then also when you and I, Sam, used to work a lot together, I think I was more of a direct tone in my emails where I was saying, get this done. Why is it still like that? Blah. I was just awful.
No, that's not true.
It's true.
But I do remember you saying, Sam, will you read this email? And I would be like, you might want to add an exclamation point here. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, you corrupted me. I'm kidding. No, but another credit that needs to be shouted out to is my current team. They've been with me for a year and a half. But when it started time for them to send out emails, they were, in my eyes at the time, was soft. And I was just like, but I don't like any of this, and then they would correct me saying, well, I mean, they've got this going on, got that going on. Let's just give them an opportunity, and then we can step in. And I'm like, okay. And then now seeing the result of that, we have Nathan acknowledging that we're here to help you instead of here to attack you or here to call you out on things. And so for you to say that, Nathan, that helps a lot on my heart, because it means it's working, and my girls had a point, and wanted to give big thanks to them about that.
Love it. Cindy, you're so cute.
And a special shout out that you actually, Cindy, have a lot more on your team than you used to. I think it used to be like you, Kellen, and one other person, right? And now it's
Molly.
like
we're one more person now. So
for 33 locations.
Yes.
So that's a big deal.
But many hands
for 33 locations, 4 people. That's insane. Same for you, Karrin. Like you have a small but powerful team for inventory in 33 locations. So kudos to both of you for making those connections and building relationships to make your teams viewed as a support system and not someone there to, tackle you, to bring back sports. So I think that for Cindy and Karrin, it's unique. Like, how does the REM team support your needs? Like, how do you utilize them more than the GM or more than the sales staff?
I think it just really comes down to collaborating with each other. Because not only, I essentially want my department to be the go-to department. Like if you have a question, even if it's related to us in any way, come to us. Because we may not have the answer, but we know who knows the answer, and we'll do that for you, or we'll guide you. But that doesn't mean that, like I said, we don't know everything. So we would like to feel comfortable enough to go to the REMs for questions, and we have, and they know more than people think, So that has been very helpful on our end too. Like we're just, especially when you do a job, you stop doing that job for 2 weeks. And you forget the details. You forget these small details. So us being out of that world and not doing financing every single day, not doing qualify every single day, you don't remember those small details. So you want to rely on REM to kind of refresh your memory of what all that is. So to me, that's the most important part, is just making sure we have a good relationship with the REM so that we feel comfortable enough to have that conversation with them.
I just wanted to add on to Cindy, if I could, Karrin. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, go.
There's a saying, and I'm sure we've all heard it, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. But for me, in terms of when there's like squirrely situations where I'm like, I don't know the answer to this, let me see what sales audit thinks, I ask permission rather than just bull ahead and do forgiveness. Because for the guest, it's better for them if I figure it out first to make sure everything's okay before just running off into the sunset doing random things.
I love it. All right, Karrin.
We have a weekly retail ops call too. So where me and Cindy are not in the stores anymore, Kelly and the Amros are. And so we get a lot of really good information from them, so that we know, because for me, it's been like 4 or 5 years since I've been in a store working as an REM. So like, and you guys do totally different stuff than when I was there, you know? So
same here, same way.
we have to be, we have to be able to keep up. So, and for us, it's like, we are mostly in communication with the REM because they're the ones usually doing the cycle counts. They're the ones usually receiving the trucks and the third party transfers and all that. So the REMs are the ones we're talking to anyways. And when there are new processes, they keep us up to date. So if I don't know how to do something, or I don't know what their new processes are, they talk to us because we have that good open communication. So yeah, it's really helpful.
You just really segued me into my next question so beautifully. So thank you, Karrin. You didn't even know we were just working so well together today. But I was going to say communication is key, right? Like you guys have all mentioned that. So Nathan, how do you stay on top of all of the things going on in the retail operations world? I'm sure based on your great relationship with Jessica that she keeps you pretty informed. But is there anything else that you do to make sure you're in the know?
So Jessica and I try to touch base pretty regularly, just taking time aside when we're both off to come together and find out, what's going on within the store. Outside of the store, her communication with Karrin and Cindy and the other departments, she is my liaison to all things retail operations. That's why she covers our blind side. That's why she's the unsung hero in our store. And I think if you asked anyone in our showroom, she would tell you the amount of stuff she saves for the store and for the company is unmatched. I mean, her value is definitely felt. And we make sure to always give her flowers and make sure we talk regularly so we stay up to date.
I love that. That's so sweet.
I want flowers.
I do too. I was going to say nobody brings me flowers.
Metaphorical flowers.
Oh.
We don't. Yeah.
Nathan, I was picturing a vase with
Me
Sandy.
too.
Yeah.
One of the HFC, Sandy, she's gotten me flowers for my birthday before.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's sweet.
So metaphorical and physical flowers. Okay.
Yes.
I'll take it.
I got a big vase of flowers when I left the store. It was really sweet.
I got flowers the day I started the position, but not when I left it.
I've never received flowers, guys.
Me either.
Send us your address, Sam.
I'm going to go cry in the corner. Anyway, so Karrin, you already mentioned how you guys stay in the know. You have these calls. Cindy, do you kind of do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, we're on the same calls, which is extremely helpful because that's when my team I'll ask them, like, is there anything that you want me to include in that call for clarification or whatever? Then I relay it on that call. And then there's also the REM chat. That's insane. I wish I had that when I was an REM, so it's so helpful. And you see it always moving. Like, everyone's always talking about something, always asking a questions. I love that they're not afraid to ask questions, and it's just beautiful. I love that chat. I don't talk much in it, but I'm trying not to be noisy in it. But it's helpful.
That's awesome. I wish we had that chat back in the day too, man. Woo! Emails after emails after emails, or picking up the phone. Stone ages. Okay, so we're having so much fun with this conversation that we are going to continue this on our next episode. So please tune in next time to listen to us continue this wonderful conversation all about how our retail ops team collaborates with our sales audit team and our retail inventory teams. This has been great, you guys. I can't wait to pick up where we're leaving off, and we will see you next time from Stories from the River.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.